All right, welcome back, everyone. Deep dive number 5, and this time it's going to be a fun one. We're diving into time travel and Doctor Who.
Oh, excellent choice.
It's something I've always been fascinated by, all those paradoxes and wibbly-wobbly stuff. And you guys, wow, you send in so much stuff. Articles, forum discussions, even some academic papers. I'm impressed.
It's like someone's been doing their research. I'm excited to dive into it. Time travel and Doctor Who, it's not just about the mechanics, is it? It really delves into these fascinating philosophical and ethical questions.
Right. Exactly. We've got the TARDIS, this iconic blue box, bigger on the inside, naturally.
Of course, of course.
Then there's this crazy dimension called the time vortex, fixed points in time. It's enough to make your head spin.
Oh, absolutely. Where do we even begin? Well, I think to really grasp how time travel works in the Doctor Who universe, we've got to start with understanding the time vortex.
Yeah, okay, the time vortex.
Think of it like this swirling, chaotic dimension, right? Where time and space as we know them, they kind of just cease to exist.
So it's not just like a straight path between points in time.
No, it's more like this raw, powerful force of nature. It's both beautiful and dangerous, and it's crucial to how the Doctor gets around.
I'm starting to picture it. So the TARDIS, with all its Time Lord technology, it's basically navigating this chaotic time vortex, like surfing a wild wave, to reach different points in history.
Exactly, that's a great analogy, but here's where things get even more interesting. While the time vortex is unpredictable, Doctor Who throws in this concept of fixed points.
Fixed points.
Yeah. Pivotal event throughout history that cannot be changed no matter what. These points act as anchors. They stop the whole timeline from unraveling.
So even with a time machine, there are some things that are just destined to happen. So that raises some questions. Like, if something like, let's say, the sinking of the Titanic is a fixed point.
Oh, good example.
Does that mean the Doctor can't do anything to stop it, even knowing it's going to happen?
That's one of the core dilemmas the show explores, right? These fixed points, they put limits on the Doctor's actions. It's this constant struggle, knowing the future, but not always being able to change it, a balance between intervening and respecting the flow of time.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy stuff. Makes you think about free will and all that. If some things are set in stone, how much choice do we really have?
Exactly. Philosophers have debated this for centuries, and Doctor Who brings it to life in this really engaging way, It doesn't give you easy answers. It presents different sides, makes you think for yourself.
That's what I love about it. It makes you think, okay, so we've got this chaotic time vortex, these fixed points acting like guardrails. But then there are the paradoxes.
Ah, yes, the paradoxes.
I mean, some episodes, they really make my head spin trying to follow them.
Right. Paradoxes are where things get really fun, and one of the most famous ones, you've probably heard of it, is the bootstrap paradox.
The bootstrap paradox. Fill me in.
So imagine the Doctor, right, travels back in time, meets a historical figure who inspires them to create some gadget, let's say a sonic screwdriver prototype.
Okay, I'm following.
The Doctor carries this prototype throughout their travels, and then, down the line, encounters that same historical figure again, but in the future. Get this, the gadget exists in the future because the Doctor brought it back from the past, but it was inspired by the historical figure who was, in turn, inspired by the gadget itself. It's a loop.
Whoa. Like a time travel chicken and egg thing. No wonder the Doctor sometimes looks stressed out.
It really is, and that's just one type. Doctor Who plays with all kinds of paradoxes. The grandfather paradox, you go back and accidentally prevent your own birth. Or those weird causal loops where you cause the very event you're trying to stop. They're all over the place.
It's like this giant time puzzle with pieces constantly moving around.
Eggs.
And speaking of moving around, we can't forget about the companions, right? They travel with the Doctor, but they don't have that same Time Lord understanding of it all. So how do they handle these crazy paradoxes and all the emotional stuff that comes with time travel?
That's a great point. The companions, they bring in this very human perspective to all the complexity. They're not just along for the ride, They struggle with the emotional and psychological impact of seeing time all out of order, dealing with loss and change in a way the Doctor, with all their years, sometimes doesn't fully grasp.
You've got me curious now. I really want to hear more about how specific companions are affected, especially with all this material we got from the listeners. Can we dive into some examples?
Oh, absolutely. Let's jump right in. So yeah, the companions, they really bring this human element to it all.
Right. It's one thing to talk about paradoxes and all that, but to actually experience them.
Exactly. And Doctor Who does a great job of showing how time travel affects people, on a personal level. Like, take Rose Tyler.
Rose, yeah, she went through a lot.
She did. Remember Father's Day? She's tempted to change a fixed point to save her dad, a decision that could literally erase her own existence.
Oh, man, that episode always gets to me. Rose's emotions, you really feel the human cost of messing with time.
It's not just about fighting aliens or, running from danger. It's that internal struggle, the emotional weight of experiencing time out of order.
Yeah, and it's not always physical danger either. Like with Donna Noble, the runaway bride, she's et with this Time Lord energy, right?
Right. She becomes super intelligent, absorbing information like crazy.
But it's too much for her human mind to handle. It's tragic.
Tragic, yeah. The doctor has to erase her memories to save her. She loses all those amazing experiences.
It's like a victory, but such a sad one. And it makes you think, is the doctor right to put companions through that, even if it means showing them the universe?
That's the ethical dilemma, isn't it? The doctor wants to help, to share this knowledge, but at what cost?
It's this constant push and pull in the show, like the desire to do good, but also the need to protect people from the harsh realities of time travel,
And the companions, they offer this kind of dramatic irony, too. They're like the audience, asking the questions they need to ask, feeling the confusion and wonder of it all.
Totally. We see the doctor being all-time lordy, confident, but then there's the companion like, wait, what just happened?
Right. It makes it relatable, grounds the sci-fi, lets the viewers connect with the philosophical stuff without getting lost in the technical jargon.
It's a balance, and Doctor Who somehow nails it.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked companions, paradoxes, but there's this one episode that really shows the Doctor wrestling with messing with time, the waters of Mars.
Oh, yeah. Waters of Mars. Heavy stuff. The Doctor is faced with this awful tragedy. The first human colony on Mars, doomed. And the Doctor knows it.
And it's a fixed point, right?
Exactly. So what do? Intervene, save lives, or respect the timeline, even if it means letting people die.
It's such a powerful episode. You can see the Doctor struggling with that responsibility.
And it challenges the Doctor's whole view of themselves. They declare themselves the Time Lord victorious, but it backfires.
Right. All that hubris, it leads to disaster and guilt. Even good intentions, when you're messing with time, things can go wrong.
It's a turning point for the Doctor. They start questioning everything, their role, their power. It gets dark.
Waters of Mars, it forces the Doctor to face their limits and the potential for darkness within them most, I think.
For sure. And it shows how Doctor Who uses time travel not just as a plot device, but to explore these really deep themes about morality, philosophy.
It's not just fun sci-fi adventure, it makes you think.
Definitely makes you think.
So we've talked about companions, ethics, fixed points, but the paradoxes themselves, there are so many in Doctor Who. Any examples from the listener submissions that jump out at you?
Oh, tons. Blink, for one. The Weeping Angels, pure nightmare fuel, but it's brilliant. Time within time, events happening at the same time, but in different time pockets. It's a mind-bending puzzle.
Blink. I still get chills thinking about it. The way the Doctor and Sally Sparrow communicate through those DVD Easter eggs, sending messages through time. Genius.
Right. The show uses these paradoxes to create these incredible twists, keep you guessing. And the Weeping Angels themselves, a paradox. Frozen when you look at them, but move like lightning when you don't.
Talk about creepy. Plays on that fear of the unseen. But there were others, right? Other paradoxes that stood out.
The Girl in the Fireplace. It's a beautifully tragic story. Love and loss across centuries. The Doctor falls for Madame de Pompadour, but their encounters are always brief, separated by huge chunks of time.
The right person, wrong time, but like on a cosmic scale. It's both romantic and heartbreaking. It shows the Doctor's loneliness, how hard it is for them to have lasting connections, because of their life.
Yeah, exactly. And those clockwork droids, controlled by that creepy repairman, they add this extra layer of symbolism, time marching on, the Doctor always fighting against it.
Ugh, those droids still give me nightmares. But yeah, it's a strong image. Time might be wibbly-wobbly, but it still has power over us.
Absolutely. The Girl in the Fireplace, it's about so much more than just time travel. It's about love, loss, human connection, powerful stuff.
It makes you think about your own life, the people you care about. Man, we've covered a lot. Paradoxes, fixed points, companions, ethics. Time travel in Doctor Who, it's deeper than I ever realized.
Right, and we've only just scratched the surface. There's the Doctor's own past, the whole Time Lord thing, and the bigger impact of time travel on, well, everything.
My brain is already overloaded. But before we get even deeper into the whole messing with time thing and where the Doctor fits in, I think we need a moment to process all this. All right, so we're back, and my head is still spinning a bit from all this time travel talk. But there's this one big question that keeps popping up in my mind.
What's that? What's got you thinking?
Well, we've seen all these amazing things, right? The Doctor zipping around in the TARDIS, fixing problems, fighting monsters. But what does it all mean? Like, what's the point? What's the takeaway for us, the viewers, stuck here in regular, boring linear time?
That's a great question. And I think one of the most powerful things about Doctor Who is that it uses time travel not just for these crazy adventures, but as a way to look at ourselves, our choices, our actions, how they ripple through time.
Okay, so it's not just escapist fun. There's a deeper message.
Definitely. Every decision we make, it sends out these ripples, shaping the future in ways we might not even see. We might not have TARDISes, but we're all time travelers in a way, constantly influencing things.
Whoa, I like that. So Doctor Who is telling us to be more careful about the choices we make, to think about the long-term impact.
Exactly. The show highlights how connected everything is in time. Even small actions can have big consequences down the line. It's a reminder to use our time well, to try and make a positive difference.
That's pretty deep for a show about aliens and time travel, but it also brings up the whole fate versus free will thing, doesn't it? If everything's connected or our destiny is already written.
Ah, the big question. And Doctor Who doesn't give a simple answer. It shows us fixed points, events that can't be changed. But it also suggests that we still have choices. We can still influence things within those boundaries.
So it's not all set in stone. We have some control.
Exactly. It's a balance. Doctor Who seems to say that we do have power over our own lives, even within this bigger picture of time. Our choices matter. They have consequences. We can make a difference.
That's kind of hopeful, actually. It means we're not just along for the ride. We can shape our own destinies, and maybe even the destinies of others.
And that's one of the reasons people love Doctor Who so much. It gives us hope, this belief that we can make things better even when things seem impossible.
It's a reminder that even when the world feels chaotic, we can choose kindness, fight for what's right, make the future a little brighter.
And don't forget, it's incredibly entertaining. The characters, the stories, the humor, the heart. Doctor Who takes us to these amazing places, to different worlds, different times. It's pure escapism.
It's got everything. Adventure, humor, thought-provoking ideas. One minute you're on the edge of your seat, the next you're thinking about, like, the meaning of existence.
That's the magic of Doctor Who. It keeps us coming back for more. It challenges us, makes us think, and reminds us that even in the darkest times, there's always hope, there's always wonder, and there's always something amazing waiting to be discovered.
Beautiful said. This has been quite a journey. Time travel in Doctor Who, it's more than I ever imagined.
It's been fantastic exploring it all with you. Time travel, in the hands of Doctor Who, it's a reflection of our own lives, our choices, our relationships, our impact on the world.
So to all you listeners out there, next time you're wondering about time, space, all the big questions, remember what the doctor says. Never give up, never lose hope. The universe is always listening. And hey, who knows, maybe you'll even hear that familiar TARDIS sound somewhere nearby.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep believing in the power of possibility.
This has been The Deep Dive, signing off.